Loyalty, deception, honor, and betrayal. The game begins anew when the epic series Game of Thrones returns. Just one part of your free preview of HBO Max. You'll experience all the must-see originals and the biggest Hollywood movies you won't want to miss. Watch it all anytime. There's nothing else like it. Don't miss a free preview of HBO Max Friday, March 29th until Monday, April 1st. Sign up for HBO and Max and get your first month free. Call 601-8992 or visit cablebahamas.com to subscribe today.
Bahamas, you're tuned into NB12, broadcasting from Cable 12 studios on Robinson Road. Coming up tonight in news, web shops remain open as the Chief Justice contemplates whether they should all be shut down. A family recovers its loved one's body from the morgue but gets a disappointing surprise. The Bahamas places second at Carifta and BEC line staff in an uproar. We'll tell you why. We've got those stories and so much more coming up. I'm Paige McCartney and NB12 starts right now. Welcome once again to NB12. The conservatory order granted by Senior Justice John Isaacs allowing web shop operators to keep their doors open remains in place, well, at least for now. This after attorneys representing web shops and Attorney General's office appeared before Chief Justice Sir Michael Barnett today. Christina McNeil was there as their submissions were made. Here's the report.
A decision is expected shortly from the Chief Justice, who will decide whether a substantive injunction relating to web shops will be extended or discharged. After nearly 5 hours of hearing arguments from attorneys representing 7 web shop operations and the Attorney General's office, Sir Michael said he will take the matter under advisement and it won't be very long before he returns a decision. This after the Chief Justice took attorneys Alfred Sears and Wayne Monroe to task about the nature of the business their clients are engaged in. Barnett said the problem he is grappling with is unlike the evidence in the matter involving another web shop operator who was candid to the court on the web shop business. The affidavits presented by Sears and Monroe's clients do not set out what the actual business of the plaintiffs is, other than that of a web cafe, restaurant, and bar. He added that the affidavits studiously avoid whether the clients are engaged in web shop gaming or any form of gaming at all. Lauren Klein, who represents the Attorney General's office, however, pointed out that the plaintiffs have openly admitted on many occasions that they engage in gaming. He also quoted from the website of Paradise Games, which describes the business as an innovative and dynamic gaming site based in the Bahamas, specializing in lottery, casino, and sportsbook betting. Klein says the AG's office does not seek to interfere with legitimate business, only activities in breach of the Lotteries and Gaming Act. In response, Monroe said if the state can tell a citizen what to do with his or her entertainment money in an act that doesn't affect public health, safety, or infringes on the rights of any other person, it would be a novel concept. Sears and Jeffrey Lloyd argued on behalf of Paradise Games. Wayne Monroe represents the Island Game, Island Luck, FML Group of Companies, Asu Draw, What Fall, and Chances. Senior Justice John Isaacs granted a conservatory order to the 7 operators on January 30th after voters rejected the regulation of web shop gaming in a referendum. In today's proceedings, Sears explained what is expected to happen next.
The normal process is we now have to file our statement of claim, and upon the filing of the statement of claim, the defendant will have 14 days by which they will file their defense, and once the issues have been joined, we will have what is known as case management. Because of the public importance of this case, I would imagine that it will move very quickly on an expedited basis based on the instructions of the Chief Justice.
Barnett has not set a date for when the decision will be handed down. Reporting for NB12, I'm Christina McNeil.
Well, line staff at the Bahamas Electricity Corporation's Blue Hill Road headquarters staged a lunchtime demonstration in the building's parking lot today. They're upset that an entry-level clerk in credit and collections was abruptly terminated by the corporation. Melinda Cunningham received a letter when she arrived to work saying that her services were no longer needed. But according to Vice President of the Bahamas Electrical Workers Union, Irvin Smith, the termination was unjust.
The letter only state that a contract is hereby terminated. In a unionized corporation, this is not the code of ethics that we're used to. This is not a code of ethics that we have been accustomed to dealing with, okay? Normally when one is terminated, it's stated in the letter, in the correspondence, why the person was terminated. And
union members are also disgruntled because their chief shop steward, Michael Edgecombe, was suspended. Edgecombe said he received a letter today that he was suspended after calling into the talk show Real Talk Live while Leslie Miller was a guest. Edgecombe said he made several comments that resulted in him being suspended for disorderly conduct, but he defended himself, saying that he was calling for transparency.
Whenever Mr. Leslie Miller makes himself accessible to the public, anybody can call and make any statements or anything, and it can't be held against him. Furthermore, I identified myself as a chief shop steward in the union, and I'm protected by the Industrial Relations Act, which is law. You know what I mean? What he's trying to do now, he's trying to break up in the widest union. It's a union busting tactic. And this would not be accepted by BWU. Not at all. We want to put an end to this now. We're asking for Leslie Miller's removal, and we're asking for it now.
When MB12 contacted BEC Chairman Leslie Miller today, he said BEC has the right to terminate any employees it chooses. He also refused to go into details on the reason for the termination. However, Miller said Cunningham would receive a good severance package and a letter of recommendation. Now, imagine this. After waiting months to collect your loved one's remains from the city morgue to give him a proper burial, morgue officials say they can't find the body. Traumatic enough. Now, let's say you finally get the body, but when you do, the state it's in is shocking. That's what happened to family members of William Simonet today. Here's Celeste Nixon with the story.
The body of 45-year-old William Simonet, which was feared missing last week, has now been released from Rand Morgue. However, relatives are now speaking out, outraged by the state of their loved one's remains.
According to his sister, Sherry Ann Scavala, Simonet's decomposing body was found in remote bushes off a beach in Rock Sound, Eleuthera on December 25, 2012. Officials told Simonet's family that his body could not be released until DNA tests were completed. Following an announcement last week that his body was ready to be removed from the Rand morgue, Scavala said she sent mortician Kemuel Cox to retrieve the body on Wednesday. However, after waiting an hour, they were told Simonet's remains could not be located. The body was supposed to be prepared for transport to Eleuthera for a funeral on Thursday. Scavala said after clearing up what morgue officials described as a misunderstanding and visiting the coroner's office to get proper release papers, she identified her brother's body by a tattoo this morning. Teary-eyed, Scavala described the state of her brother's body.
Because of the tattoo that he has, that's how I was able to identify the body. I mean, the body is in a mess. You know, but trust me, the body is in a mess. I said a total mess. You know, when you take a dead dog and you throw him on the side of the road and you leave him there, that's how that body, I talking about a chest open right up.
Scavala is alleging that Simonet's body was not stored at the actual morgue, but a trailer just outside. Now in custody of Simonet's remains, the family can fully grieve and move on, but Scavala said she hopes no one else has to go through this painful experience.
When I went to the morgue this morning, I would assume I would have seen someone to the morgue because of what had happened. You would think someone would be there, but no one were even there. We can go from here and bring closure to this, and I just hope it don't happen to no one else. And if it does, I just pray that they be vocal about it.
Mortician Kemuel Cox said he believes this whole situation could have been avoided if the morgue had communicated better with the family. He claims similar incidents have occurred in the past.
I stayed there over an hour waiting, watched them move different bodies, looking for it. So it was as though it's lost, okay? And if they had said to me, Mr. Cox, just come back in another hour or let us call you, that could have been avoided. But no one would say anything other that they couldn't find it.
Cox said this experience has compounded an already painful and long grieving process for Simonet's family. Scavala said her family would like an apology from hospital officials. Administrators at Princess Margaret Hospital did not answer calls made to them today. Reporting for MB12, I'm Celeste Nixon.